let's start with quick hits. Now, I don't know what's. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you guys. When it comes to this Young Thug case, I actively stayed away from it because I know there's a lot of moving parts. This was not going to make sense to anybody. I salute to those who have been covering this. I just elected to not do it. So when it came to good morning, fam, what's going on? So when it came to this new situation, honestly, this is a joke. Let me actually put that out there. This whole Young Thug thing is a joke. The case in general, because some take it for somebody who has lawyers um, in the family. This is an insult. I'm not gonna say I know the ins and outs, of course, but I know how to maneuver to get to the finish line. I don't. This is absolute garbage. When you got a attorney who's been given inside whatever information, don't know how he received it, don't care, and the judge says, "Okay, I'm gonna throw you in jail. I'm gonna hold you in contempt." Boom, jail. And now we find out Young Thug's attorney was granted bond and will not have to report to jail this weekend. Obviously, what I'm saying is this is a circus show. I'm not saying Young Thug is in jail because he's trying to get headlines, because whatever his music is doing or whatever it's not doing. I'm just saying, in the judicial system, this is an absolute joke. This is a waste of time. Like I said, I made efforts to make sure I don't look into the story. I just thought that's worth pointing out right now, just to give insights of, hey Chris, have you been hearing about Young Thug? Don't care. I didn't care about listening to Young Thug when he was out, slim, wearing a dress. I really don't care to see him out of shape wearing a suit. That's just me. I don't care about Young Thug. Respectfully, that's not my demographic. There might be a couple of songs that I like because he's in it, like "Try Me" with Trader Truth and Young Thug. I'll listen to that with no problem. And I think if it ain't about the money with him and Ti, sure, don't no problem. I can tolerate Thug and his verses on that. Anything else, I can care less about this. And now it just made its way to court, and he's still in court for a RICO case and all this other stuff. This is a mockery of the court system. So I don't care for this. I don't, never have, never will. Um, Hold on, I need to fix something on this. Um, because I didn't realize what time it was. Let me put this back for 7:45. All right, back. So yeah, regarding the Young Thug case, joke, absolute joke. I expect this to go. I expect him to be in jail for the remainder of the year. Um, yeah. Email says the judge is immature. I believe you. I 100% believe you. All of this is a joke from the judge, lawyers, district, the DA, all of that. I don't care to look into this because I take that as an insult as somebody who has lawyers in their family. I don't care to look into this trial. There's nothing interesting about that. The only interesting thing about that is the people involved. One of them may or may not be a snitch, but somehow is selling out shows. So I'll let the streets handle that. That's none of my business. I'm not a street dude. And this right here, like I said, it's all confusing from the legal aspect to the street aspects. Makes no damn sense, but y'all have fun with that. That's what I believe. Next up, U.S. deployed warship as Russian fleet makes close pass to Florida in approach to Cuba. I'm gonna give you my stance on this whole Russia-Ukraine situation. This is a civil war between Russia and Ukraine. This is Christopher J's take. Let me make that perfectly clear. This is a Christopher J take. I'm more than welcome to be corrected later on. Just not right now because I will probably do a get it off your chest later. So if anybody has any want to voice their opinions, we can do that. Or if I have enough time, we can do that. But I can tell you right now, 8:30, 8:30 my time, shutting down the show. Ukraine, Russia is a civil war. really just ain't got shit to do with the U.S. in my opinion. I understand Ukraine is an ally, and if Ukraine, from the last time I checked, Ukraine joins NATO, now Russia is going to be surrounded, literally surrounded. So I'm gonna break this down so people understand, because this is what it was broken down to me. It's similar to Russia being the parents. Ukraine wanted to go outside and play. They said no, and the U.S. got in there. Man, forget your parents, man. Come on, let's go down the block and chill. Ukraine left the house. Russia's mad, and now they just have a complete war path against anybody that's keeping them from their child. And now you have a Russian warship that's going close to Cuba. And keep in mind, last week, either this week or last week, Vladimir Putin says uh, the U.S. is officially the ops now. Number one, good job, Biden. Good job. You really fucked this one up. That's number one. Number two, now you can make the argument that this kind of took place under Trump administration, and I can understand that. But how convenient that the president, the 45th president of the United States, was cool with Vladimir Putin, and this was the least of our worries. Now there is a Russian warship near Cuba, well, approaching Cuba, excuse me. Do you guys forget how close Cuba and Florida is? It ain't nothing but just to maneuver that tank in that direction. Act like you're having a conversation with homie about one of the crew members, and boom, oh shit, I just rested my elbow on the missile that's heading towards the U.S. So, good job, Biden. Enjoy your last days in office. We understand that well, I won't get into that. That's people's political beliefs, so I'll leave that alone. But yeah, in the whatever hemisphere you want to call it, there's a Russian warship here. So I expect this to escalate by the end of next week. If it doesn't escalate by the end of next week, there should be something that said this is an ongoing situation with that warship still being where it needs to be. So, good job, Biden. You effing idiot. Lastly, it's official. Jeannie and Jeezy finally got a divorce. And I'm laughing because I know I won't bring that up. But yeah, they finally got a divorce. Unfortunately, like his thing, I'm not laughing at divorce because there's nothing funny about it, but I do understand it. I do understand divorces. Like I have my 3 reasons to get a divorce, and all biblically supported: abuse, abandonment, adultery. So if there, I'm pretty sure this has irreconcilable differences on here, but if somebody was abusive, they should go their separate ways. If there was an abandonment of the relationship, you can make an argument about duty. I understand. With abuse, abandonment, and adultery. Yeah, 100% abandonment. And guess what? All 3, I call it the 3 A's of divorce. Maybe we'll do a show about that later on. But I completely, who was that? Okay. But I completely agree with that. What the hell something doing in King's room? Okay. So yeah, I hate that they had to go through it. The only thing I can do is pray for both parties, pray for the little one that is involved. Because one thing people need to understand, like the kids, especially kids that young, when they're that young, they don't have a wherewithal to really grasp of what's going on. So it hasn't hit them yet that mommy and daddy's not together. But the question is, what are you gonna do when they have the wherewithal to realize the life that I once had is not here no more, because one or both parties made a decision. that's when it starts to sink in with the child. That's why I don't laugh at divorces. Some people say the child might be fine now. I understand. Wait till the child gets older and get a little bit more sense. Then that's when the problem really begins. And I'm saying that as somebody who was a product of a divorced family. Now, me, well, Christopher J, for the most part, turned out great. And maybe, just maybe, I'll dive deep into that later on. Now, I'm adamant about no longer putting my personal life online anymore. But if it makes sense, add value, and help achieve ultimate goal, maybe I'll tell you what it's like growing up as a kid from a divorced household. But probably later. But in this case, prayers for Jeezy, prayers for Jeannie, but more importantly, prayers for the little one. Because somebody who's been through it, I know what that like. I know what it's like to do how other people go through it, and all I say is God bless her, and I legit mean that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and that was quick hit. That was quick hit.